What's up, Planner Babe? This is Arlie Plans. My name is Arel and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to do something different. My face is on here. Yeah, so this is going to be the first video of, like a face-to-face type of thing. And I already know this is going to be super awkward, so just bear with me. I just wanted to try it out. And with today's video, I thought it was appropriate to do like a face-to-face type of thing. So for today, we are talking about, I'm just going to be talking about how I transitioned into minimal planning with a brief type of like walkthrough of my planner history from 2015 until today. So if you guys are interested, just keep watching. So like I said, we are talking about my transition into minimal planning. So as you guys know, if you've been following me for a long while, I started out using the Happy Planner and doing some decorative planning. And then back in 2019, last year, I decided to make a big switch in my planning style system, all of that into more of a minimal and functional type of planning. So I've gotten a few, like questions on how I came about that and how I did that. What was my process and what, like things that I went through in order to, be right here, like right now, today, as a minimal planner. So we're going to be talking about that. I do have some notes with me, and since it's going to be a face-to-face type of thing, so I have my handy dandy planner, and we'll just go through a checklist of all the things that we are going to talk about. So, a brief history of my planning, system. I went into full throttle with the planner community back in 2015. That was in July. I first discovered the Happy Planner through YouTube, or like planning in general. My sister was watching YouTube videos one day and I just asked her like, what the heck you doing? And then she's like, oh, there's planner videos on YouTube. It just shows of people like putting stuff in their planners. I'm like, that's a thing? And she said, yeah. And then I got into it, and then the rest was history. So I got into the planner community. I started my own Planstagram, my planner Instagram, and that was that. So my first ever planner was a Starbucks like book-bound planner that I got from the Philippines. And then since I discovered, the whole planner community on YouTube and then on Instagram, I went ahead and bought the Happy Planner, and I just went from there. Like I went on to full-on decorative planning, using all the stickers, using all the washi tape, and all whatever decoration that you can put in a planner. I did that, and then within like 2015, I kind of discovered there was more than just the Happy Planner. There were ring planners, there were like book-bound planners, and there were all different shapes and sizes, and so I wanted to try those as well. I went ahead and I believe I tried personal rings first. I did buy like the Kate Spade zip planner. I did that for a while because, it was Kate Spade and I was just like in love with the leather and all that. And it was pretty in around that era too. So I tried it out. And then I also bought a Filofax A5 in burnt orange. I remember that. But those two types of planners were such fails because I knew nothing about, personal sizes, A5 and all that. So I didn't know how to print inserts and how to cut inserts. So I just went back to what I knew best, and that was the Happy Planner. And during that time, it was pretty convenient to use the planner because everything was provided for you. And I do love the disc system. I did fell in love with that, the way that you can take out the pages and then, rearrange them in however way you like. So that, that was like super appealing to me. And I was actually gonna be starting school, like nursing school, pretty soon. So, I wanted something, pretty that's just like ready for me right away, and all I need to do is put some stickers on the spread and call it a day. Um, so I did that from early 2016. I still went ahead on like the Happy Planner, and then that's when all the sticker books started coming out, and it just brought my planning into like a whole new level. And yeah, like whatever new sticker book that came out from the Happy Planner, I just bought it because why not? And you can't get enough of stickers. You can't have too many stickers, is what I thought before during that time, but I think now it's like, so way too much. And then from 2016 to 2019, I was all full on Happy Planner. I think when I graduated nursing school, which was back in 2017, I was actually more into, like having a presence on Instagram, and, um, I started taking like photos like seriously, and like what I posted on Instagram. I was worried about what I posted on Instagram. It has to be planned, it has to be perfect, it has to be that cool layout, like flat lay type of situation. And I liked it, and it definitely helped me creatively in a way, like trying to think of like what stickers coordinated with what, and how, like my handwriting has to be in a certain way for my spread to actually work. So I did that for a good while, and it worked out okay. Like I was gaining a lot of following. I've met like good people on Instagram, and it also got me thinking that I should be starting a YouTube channel, because why not? Everybody's doing it. So and I really felt like I had something to share as far as planning, because as much as I am, trying to, or, like having the same like type of like layout spreads with the stickers and everything with the Happy Planner, I thought there was still something unique about me that I could share on YouTube and on Instagram. So I did that for a good while. And then early last year, 2019, and I started my YouTube channel, and I also had like 4 planners, I think. I think I had like 4 planners at a time, and I really I put in a lot of thought like into each planner, and I was really committed to using all of them at the same time. Well, obviously it didn't work out because I did switch mid-year to minimal planners, but there was a lot of soul searching, like planner soul searching and realizations around like May and June of last year. And the biggest wake up call for me was not. I didn't make the Happy Planner Squad. I did apply last year, and I, put a lot of thought into like what my application was. I, like wrote like a really like nice like type of essay like application. I had my sister, check the grammar and all that, and made sure like it was, a very, really good application. So I felt pretty confident about it that I was gonna get accepted. But when I didn't get accepted, it was the wake up call for me to like realize that, it definitely was the reality check. Like, what are you even doing? Are you even really planning? And are you really, is your planner like serving its purpose of actually letting you, plan like your goals and like reach your goals, and be productive and all that? And basically the answer was no. um it really wasn't. I definitely was using my planners for the wrong reasons, and every week and sometimes every day was just all about like, oh, I need to make sure that my spread is completed. Like there is like all the stickers are on here, and there's like, I have the before the pen and after the pen type of thing. And my, like planning and like social media life was based on that. And it just wasn't as motivating anymore. And of course, like mental health wise, like it wasn't really good for me. So I decided to switch it up. So I didn't switch to minimal planners like rings right away. I actually had like a period of like experimentation like in the month of June of last year, and all I did was I actually tried to do a mini happy planner, like a B6 type of like TN, like put together since I still had the stuff. I really wanted to use what I have because it was starting to dawn on me, or actually dawn on me for a while now, but it just was after that fact that I realized like I have spent so much money into this hobby, and I have no regrets because it has led me to, you know, my planning system today. But if, you know, like someone, my like future self could tell me that, hey, like this is what you were actually meant to do with your planners, just don't spend a lot of money on this because this is not what you like. I wish someone would tell me that. I wish like someone from the future would tell me that, like from my past self. Um, yeah. So I did that whole TN thing, and it didn't really work out either because it was still a lot of like decorative stuff. But then I started to do like research. I followed some hashtags. I followed some people on Instagram who actually just inspired me to just, you know, do it, like completely change my planner system and just go from there. Okay, so now that we got my planning system out of the way, we'll talk about like the steps on, you know, my process on how I transition to minimal planning. So after that, like when I did realize that my planner wasn't serving its true purpose to actually, you know, me planning and not, you know, doing it for the sake of just social media, that was the big realization that I needed to switch. And then the second step was I evaluated what my current system was. So there was some things about my hobby planners that I really liked, that I incorporated into my systems today. I did start out with really good like sections or divide, like with how my dividers are in my sections for both my planners today. So that concept, that element to that I like something that's customized for myself, I definitely incorporated that into my system today. So my advice is to write it all down. Like write all the stuff that worked for you in the past that you kind of you want to incorporate to the next or to the new system that you want to try, whether it is from, you know, decorative to minimal like I did or vice versa. So with the happy planner system, I did like, you know, the vertical layout when it comes to the weeklies. That's how I started with my weekly view in my minimal planner back in June, or July. That's when I started. So yeah, so write it all down. What little things and elements that worked for you. Do you like using sticky notes? Do you like having little bookmarks? Do you like having like page markers? And those are the stuff that I like too. I like having page markers for every type of, you know, section that I, you know, have. So let's say in my extension, I do have like different types of page markers like to where like the sections are. So those are things that were already present when I was using the Happy Planner. So I incorporated those in my current system. And just, you know, like just the little things, like if you like having lists in your planner, you know, it's the list part of it, it's never going to go away. Like you can still add it to the new system that you want to, but with less stickers and with less color type of thing. And that's how I did. Like I used to do some lists on here on my Happy Planner, like creative types of lists. I'll give you like a little slideshow right here to for you guys to like understand what I'm talking about, and then switching up to just like lists right now. And you know, the concept is the same, like the purpose of the list is the same. It's just a matter of like, you know, the decorative like element, it's gone. And then next I have is So do some research. And that was a pretty big thing for me. And I was actually doing research, or like started following like minimal planner babes on Instagram subtly, even when I was still using Happy Planner. It just was really appealing to me. Like everybody who was using like the File Effect Stone, like in personal size, the original, oh my god, like I even like followed that hashtag on Instagram, and I just wanted to see the planner. And that was actually my very first ring planner last year. So I followed that, and then when you like follow hashtags on Instagram, you kind of like discover the actual people who are using you know, like planners who are using it minimally. Just like to mention a few, I had Hannah, like, you know, one of my number one like people to follow, like back in, you know, when I first started. Aloe, like she is awesome both like on Instagram and on here. Rana, like she was actually following me when I was still doing Happy Planner, and then I don't know, for some odd reason, like I checked out her account, and then after that I was just inspired. Like she was like one of the people who, you know, like just looking through their account was just like, yeah, you gotta do it now. Type of thing. And then Sarah also, Leslie, just, you know, a lot of other more babes out there. They were just like super, very inspirational, and it was just, you know, just gave me that like push to, you know, it didn't seem like it was such there wasn't as pressure. I don't know why. Like I, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like hating on the Happy Planner. I love the Happy Planner, and it has gotten me through like big like downs like in my personal life, and discovering that outlet was really good. And it definitely, you know, allowed me to, you know, explore things creatively about myself, and also like meet new people, and now who I consider now as my friends. So like definitely no hate at all, but I just knew that I had to like grow out of it, or like so I just needed to like grow up as a planner type of thing. Like that's how I feel about it. I just needed to try something new, and I realized that it's like what I've always needed and what I've always wanted. And it's just me, like this minimal planning community, minimal planner system that I am on now. This is where I'm meant to be as a planner. So I'm like getting all cheesy. So yeah, research, do your research, do some, you know, yeah, follow like some people on Instagram, and then also like look up stuff on YouTube. And that's why I typed minimal planner, and that's why I discovered Aloe's channel. And like, kid you not, I binge watched all her videos like in like 3 days or something, because she was just a major inspiration, and definitely was just, yeah, like also, yeah, just an inspiration. She's just so awesome. And along with that research, you know, you plan it out. Like that's what the planner is for. I remember that I used, I think I just used like a notebook, and that's when I like wrote down, okay, what's my setup gonna be, and what are the sections that are gonna be my setup, like what inserts do I do or use or buy. And then I wrote down like shops that I'm interested on checking out, and all the things. So research, definitely research like on things on whenever you're like switching out. And it doesn't even matter if it's like you're just like switching from like sizes too. I remember when I you know, I started with my personal size, and then I wanted to try the A5, and I definitely did a lot of research on that too. So it's definitely, you know, some hashtags on Instagram that says hashtag A5 planner. Like there's a ton of content that you can like look at, and that's what I did. So research, definitely do it. So for me, I tend to not try them as much. Like brief example. So today or last week I did do like the planner trends series. So if you guys have seen like the different types of trends that are on like present in the minimal planner community right now, some are, you know, I actually have all of those trends like in my planners. They're present in a way, but there are some that are just like, I really can live without them. Like one example is task cards. So in that video, I did talk about how it's like super popular trend right now. You know, it's very aesthetically appeasing to look at when it's in your planners, but functionally, like, yeah, I can live without it. So there is definitely a difference between trying and following like trends out there. You know, like what I've noticed is that there's some people who, like, no offense to anyone, but they're still in a period of like exploration, because I have seen like many people like trying like this type of size, and then like 3 weeks later like they try out a different size, and that's totally fine, because I have gone through that, you know, process type of thing too, because you're never gonna know until you actually try it, and that's okay. So just like advice about that, just make sure you're like doing a lot of like research, and then actually like listing down the things that what you actually want in your planner. And size like really matters. Like there's, you know, a big difference between an A5 and an A6, you know, like what their purpose is, of course. So you definitely put a lot of like thought and work like into it when you're planning out your planner. So that is trends. Next element or next advice that I have when it comes to transitioning is to, you know, the part about destashing. And boy, oh boy, was that hard. And it's still hard. So moving from a type of like planning system where you're full on decorative before to now like no decoration that much, or even at all sometimes. So it definitely dawned on me. I'm like, how am I gonna get rid of all my stuff that I'm not using? And it was definitely a challenge, and I already knew, you know, that I was gonna lose a bit of like money that I put into the stuff that I bought. Some stuff I bought like I didn't even get to use like at all. But yeah, in the end, I think it took me like a good half a year to like get rid of my stuff, and I still have all of my Happy Planner sticker books, and I'm actually in the process of getting rid of them right now. I'm selling some of them, like maybe 80% of all my stickers I will be selling, and then keeping some just for memory keeping. But yeah, like so if you are, you know, thinking about that switch, which is like a pretty big switch from decorative to minimal, and you have all this stuff, like you have to be prepared for the fact like yeah, definitely you can like sell them, you can donate them. Like I have donated a bunch, and then there are some like things that I got rid of, like I did on a giveaway, so I, you know, put it all in a big box and then just like send it to someone who I know would actually use it, not just like with me, you know, like just sitting, like all the stuff was just sitting in a box. And some of the things were new, and I already knew that I wasn't going to use them. So yeah, destashing, definitely a challenge, but also it's nice to, you know, declutter. It's always nice to declutter. So there we have it. And then lastly is buying all the things. So everything was set, like I have everything planned out. I already know what I want in my planner, what cover am I using, like what dividers am I gonna, you know, have, bookmarks and all that. It definitely like gave me like two big lessons as far as, you know, when it comes to like having things like that are inside my planner. So the first is checking out all the things. So when I first started, I did all like the printed stuff. Like I bought answers from Cloth and Paper, from Infant Lotus, and I still have stuff from there until today. And then all the accessories like sticky notes, transparent stickers, transparent everything. And then what else, like you know, dashboards, vellum and all that. So it has brought me into like a different like type of like, you know, definitely a different type of planner world, and like it's just really different. You know, instead of like buying stickers and die cuts and washi, you buy vellum, dashboards and dividers and a really expensive leather cover. So it yeah, you know, it has its like type of like opposite. Oh, you spend like a crap ton on stickers before. Well, be ready because you're gonna spend a crap ton on this, and that's okay. It's, you know, I love my planner. I love my planners today, and I don't have like any regrets, and I feel like, you know, I haven't really done the numbers quite yet, like in my head, but I feel like I've still spent a lot of money buying things when I was in decorative planning versus today as a minimal planner. And then the second lesson that I've learned is you definitely learn to create more. You know, like in this planner right here, if you guys have seen the flip of my A6, most of the stuff like the dashboards, you know, and like some inserts like lists like this, I made this, you know, and never in a million years, like if you were gonna tell me 5 years ago when I started my planner journey that I was gonna be making things for my planner, like that, I would probably laugh, like I don't know how to make this. Like, but today it definitely gives you an opportunity to be more creative. You know, you discover like programs like Canva and Adobe Acrobat, Photoshop, you know, things that were kind of already there, but now since you're in this type of whole other world, you kind of like, instead of like buying things, you know, from different sources, which is all good, like I still like buy some things here and there to show my support to, you know, small businesses, but it definitely also helps you if you make your own thing, if you make your own shit. So like, you know, having to label your dividers, that is like such a big deal for me, and having to customize your own planner in however way you want, that definitely gives you a lot more freedom, like in the minimal planner community. Maybe it is with, you know, decorative planning too, because you just like order stuff around, but I didn't really try other like rings and make them all decorative, because I know a lot of people do that too. But me being just like solely with the happy planner, yeah, it gives you that customization, but at the same time it's still limited, not as, you know, more like free to do whatever the heck you want with like the ring system and just, you know, starting out from scratch. Another thing I've learned, you know, with learning to create is like you definitely appreciate function over beauty. If you like look at my spreads from before, you know, with the happy planner, like right here, I have a spread right here that you guys will see, versus, you know, like things like this. This is just like basically handwriting and a highlighter, and that's basically planning. This, I mean, this has like stickers on it here and there, but it's just, I'm not like worried about what it's gonna look like. I'm worried about if like the plans that I wrote on here is gonna work, and if it's, you know, gonna be helpful for me to actually, you know, gonna be helpful for me when I actually plan things, and to remind myself of things that I need to do for this upcoming week. So like these spreads right here, it's all function, and I'm not like too worried about what my handwriting is gonna look like, because, you know, and at the same time I like post this on Instagram because I appreciate function over beauty, and that's what my planners are. Like I make them all pretty, but at the same time, by the end of the day, it's still all about how it's functioning for me. And if I, for some reason, if I realize that it's no longer functioning, that's when I make like some changes and I switch things up. And that's the beauty of it. Like you can just change it like in any way you want, and that's such like the best thing about like customizing your own planners and making your own planners work for you. And that is the biggest advice that I can give you, like for this video. It's just, no matter where you are in your planner journey, like always just remember, if it's not working out for you, if you're not using it the way you want it to be used as a planner, like there's something, you know, to be considered. There's something you need to change. And last year that definitely was me, and today I am a planner piece. Like, yeah, I switched things here and there. I'm actually in a different size right now this month, but the system itself is the same. Like, definitely the same. And it's just like a matter of how things are ordered in my planners and how you know, they look, but the core of it is like the system, it's definitely the same. And that concludes my video. So I know it's kind of messy like here and there, but I hope the message has come across on how I transitioned. There definitely was like a few steps involved, and I hope like each one that I explained made a little bit sense. If not, just, you know, like shoot me a question like in the comments below. I'd be happy to explain a bit more. And I hope this video like also helps like for the people who are considering switching from decorative to minimal, you know, or switching to one system or another, just because of the fact that you know that what your current system is no longer working for you, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So there we have it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And of course, if you want to see more content from me, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.